So the fucking baby in the background, it's just fucking sending me. They look fucking rough. There was shit all over the glass, it stunk in there, and it was amazing. Hola, ¿cómo estás? So yeah, as you can see, I'm wearing my hoops, but again, they are the ones that I bought recently because I couldn't find my old ones. And I'm also, I'm not sure if he remembers, but I am wearing one of his shirts. I mean, hey, if he always wants it back, he knows where I live. So, though it's more of like a communal shirt now, like, if anyone needs a black shirt, per chance, I'm just like, hey, got one right here. Hey Alexa, play Hoodie by Hey Violet. But yeah, if he wants it back, then I have no issue giving it back. I'm such a little shit sometimes. Love it. Now, where were we? So I introduced you guys to how Dee and I met and how we Hotel Transylvanian zinged, and how on the second date I gave my friend her drawing in the city, and how shit hit the fan after Valentine's Day and his birthday. I also need to mention, because I forgot, that I was there with Dee in person when the situation happened, so it made the connection between us feel all the more real. No contact happens after 3 to 4 months of knowing each other, and they go on an emotional rampage. I get humbled so hard that I come back to my senses and I reflect. And a month or so after, I visit that same friend that I dropped the drawing off to around his area, and while I was there I dropped off his gift to him, which was also a drawing. Then 2 weeks later I was around his area for my cousin's birthday, and I realized Dee is an avoidant. And later on in that day I get denied a hospital visit from my ex of 5 years. Yeah. So back to the wharf, I was like, fuck this shit, and I slept on the car ride back home. And when I got back to my ex, I was like, hey, actually, I can't do this anymore. I wish you good life with your new partner and your family, etc. I no longer want to know or be exposed to anything that you do, like, ever. After that happened, I went to my trio and I was like, hey, I cut off my ex and I'm sad, but he's valid in his decision. From there, I was slowly working through my emotions, since it was the first time I've confronted them to this degree. And what I was saying was just the tip of the iceberg, so it's more so I acknowledged them, but I didn't know what to do with them. And with one of the girls in my trio, I kind of feel bad because I believe she was asking out of genuine curiosity, but for the conversation to not focus on me when I'm in the headspace of I want to put my feelings and my decisions first over him, that kind of threw me into a loop. And surely perhaps in the past I have done something similar, and to kind of get slapped with something that I have done by seeing it displayed through her kind of stings. But you know, it takes time and genuine moments to build up your EQ. I'm not going to criticize her or anything, but it's just not what I needed at the time. If anything, I'll savor the interaction anyway, because it did help me to open up a little bit, but that's because she triggered my fight response. She was not exactly defending, but leaning towards his side, which is fine. I understood that, but I realized I wanted some validation, because cutting off someone for me is a hard thing to do. Just again with this conversation and the previous one about Dee, I didn't feel emotionally supported as I should have. And comparing this to the friends I have around me now, who are more active and in proximity to who I am today, where I have opened up to them about this and where they have given me their 10 cents, they're stern and firm with it while also being empathetic to both Dee and I, but mainly towards me because they only know me, so yeah. And with one of my friends, especially when I was opening up to her about it, I'll call her Gail. So Gail said something along the lines of, stop saying but, because 2 things can be true at the same time. Say and instead, so you're not lessening the impact of it. And when I heard her say that, it brought me back to when one of the girls in my trio also said that exact same thing. Just then and there, I was assessing how Gail made me feel in comparison to my trio. With Gail and my new friends, I realized that they made me feel emotionally empowered and valued just because of the type of people that they are and who I've observed them to be. And then there's 2 friends in particular as well who I've thanked for being so communicative, Holy Communion, 3, 2, 1, go, communicative, and open. And it's not like I don't love my trio, they are wonderful people, but we've become too incompatible for me to ignore. Also, Gail did point out that Dee was low-key emotionally blue-balling me, so now I can't get that out of my head. And that also she has a friend who is mutuals with Dee. Anyways, before I continue on, I would just like to preface this by saying we need to give compassion towards avoidant people as well. They're not always the villain. Just remember that some of them really are traumatized. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, and this isn't because I gravitate towards avoidance. I'm sure that we are actually aware that shitty people will display avoidant behavior. But again, this also extends to anxious attachments and disorganized attachments. Just remember to stick with your gut or better judgment. I guess it's all really just circumstantial here. Though yes, the discard hurts so good, man. So painful, so...
Dude, what's Cody?
Cody's me, bro. Let me be me.
So with that being said, back to the main story. After the wolf and talking to my trio and others, a small memory reoccurred, and it was a text from D stating that he is anxiously attached. And I was like, well, wait a damn minute. Low-key, I don't think he is, given that he did like me. And I didn't know at the time that you could be both, because I know, like, the real just spoke to me. But of course I should have not pretty much jumped ship. I think a part of me crashing out as hard as I did was because he told me that he's anxiously attached and that he hit one of my biggest insecurities, and given that he is watching, I'll never tell. Chat. Guys, wouldn't it be crazy if I specifically put a boundary on him not to watch this any further? Like, wouldn't that be so insane? But I'm not going to. I may be a little crazy, but I am no monster. Oh god, I could just hear him sing that. And honestly, if him and I were to ever bump into each other with an increased chance because one of his relatives lives relatively close to me, I'm running in the opposite direction. Anyways, with that in mind, I was trying to keep it together for the next few days after the wharf, but I ended up breaking no contact. So hear me out. I may be a little bit crazy. So I kind of did this thing where I called him out on my close friend story on Instagram. I removed everyone except him, and the caption read like, "This and peace, knowing that he probably has an avoidant attachment style." Yes, the story is targeted, and this song is about asking for more but not being able to handle the pressure. Of course, he didn't know that I removed everyone, so it looks like I called him out to a bunch of people. And that quote was only one-sided. Honestly, I was mixed about posting the story or not, but I kind of just did it anyways. I was like, fuck it, we're both weird. He'll probably understand. He'll get it, right? Technically, I didn't break no contact. Haha, I'm pretty hurt with how things ended. I'm trying to take this as lightly as I possibly can. And also, you stated that you're anxiously attached, but I heard that avoidant people, they don't know that they're an avoidant, so just a little heads up. Anyways, I checked to see if he has seen it, and he has. He blocked me. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. I think I might have actually heard him. Time to text another wall to him. And so I did exactly that. Let me just send the message to his number. And an orange exclamation mark popped up. He blocked me there too. I was internally panicking at that point. But wait, guys, remember divas. I didn't unblock him on TikTok. And so I unblock him on there and send my apology. He left me unseen and account not found. And I'm like, well, I tried.
What is this NA lifespan? Ready to live in suffering? Sorry, I missed the video.
The day after, I talked to my trio and my friends about it, and with my trio, they did humble me, but again, there was no emotional support, really. Like when I said that I sent the apology to him on TikTok, one of them joked, "Oh, are you gonna email him next?" Well, I do have his email. But at that point, you're kind of coming across to me as mean. Like, I know it's a joke, but I feel like our friendship has kind of been on the rocks lately. The only amount of love I got from her was, "I love you, bro. You're more important than exam." Me? More important than your exam? Personally, that's always my mentality, but that coming from you as someone who was doing a double degree in law and psychology. Thanks, dog, I appreciate it. I wish I was academically gifted. Because to be fair, she was studying in call while I was talking to the other girl in my trio after trying to help said friend study. And when she left for a little bit, I did bring up the situation because it was gnawing on me. So they are kind of missing a little bit of context, but I've known these guys for like, what, so many years. Yeah. Compare this to the friends that I have around me now. Again, they are more active and they are more in proximity to me at the moment. They gave me their 10 cents, and one of them said, "You are more precious than the time, the effort, and the memories that you've spent on him." And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I was like, oh, am I? And I kind of had to sit on that quote for a bit. Though, while I did, my TikTok algorithm was like, high key, this combo is gonna sound so insane, but stay with me, guys. It was like, so would you like to indulge in some tarot love reading and also some avoidant attachment style content? I wish I was making this shit up, but it was helpful, as well as me talking to people. I've been going through like ego death or awakening for the past few weeks. Then I couldn't just keep suppressing it, and at the same time, who do I exactly turn to? Up to this point, it's now just me dealing with myself as I'm looking at my own image, because now this goes beyond these relationships. Unfortunately, a few things had to happen to me in order to wake me up to that reality. But yeah, that was a lot of myself that I had to meditate on. And I'm still going through it. I'm just taking slow baby steps, but I feel much better. A part of healing is not becoming the best version of yourself, but rather letting the worst version of yourself be loved. Though in saying that, keep growing towards a better you, okay? Don't intentionally hurt people. Put some work into yourself and lift with your knees. Should I have used and? Healing is becoming the best version of yourself and or while letting the worst version of yourself be loved. You know, I think I might actually like that one better. In the words of a celebrity who I have very mixed feelings on, living in a world where no one is innocent, oh, but at least we try. And Lord, I really do hope.
He's doing it.
That was honestly one of my favorite clips. Back to main story with my little Instagram call out. Yeah, it's not my brightest moment, I'll admit. And if you guys remember how I invited Dee to one of my friends' parties, funnily enough, that friend's party was Sonia's, aka the one who I also made a video on. For a refresher as well, I did crash out and call her out on an Instagram post. It was such in poor taste. I can't believe I didn't learn my lesson the first time. What the frick? Anyways, with doing all of that, assessing and sitting with the situation a bit more, I realized that what I was doing was performing in hopes that he'd come back sooner. Because when no contact hit, the conversation was geared to me and I thought I was solely the problem, and never did I want no contact in the first place. With what I did, I thought I put the final nail in the coffin, and it was my burden to bear for screwing it up, even though I did know better. But there's a difference between knowing better and having things play out. And did you really know better if you had to play it out and it didn't go the way that you thought it did? So honestly, I thought, or well, he was kind of upset and mad at me for months, hence why I thought it was his job to reach out if he wanted to. Because I'm like, well, okay, I already apologized the best I can, and I get it, it was a stupid mistake, and I didn't mean to crash out like that. Dude, I'm actually kind of tearing up right now. Man, who's cutting the onions? My notes app will be hearing about this. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't. Trying to put things in the bin. But if you can't handle that, then that's okay. Maybe we weren't aligned as I initially thought. I'm just gonna do the whole cleanse. I need to unlike him. I need to block him. I need to erase the playlist we had together. I need to leave the group chat that I was in with 2 of his friends. Delete the convos, delete the photos, or at least some of them. And I need to unadd him on Osu. He needs to be online for that, so I guess I can't. Out of sight, out of mind, I need to get angry at him. Not because he initiated no contact, but it's just the way that we went about it. Hell, I even told myself like, hey, if you go after him, you're essentially cave diving at that point. On the night of Sonia's party, after we left, we were in the car and I remember him crying, saying that he didn't want to mess things up, and I got confused. I'm like, dude, you've been the grace to me, even though now I can see how much he was struggling. And it's so fucking stupid. We made a pinky promise after that talk, and all I can think about is this meme after. One song that perfectly encapsulates this moment, which comes to mind for me, is I Wish That You Would by The Strike, since his ass likes to share music. Speaking of which, it's time for a break. We would have another unboxing video, but my friend's parents forgot to send the parcel to me after they've offered, because I know something about like bulk mailing. So basically I ordered The Strike, The Lost Years CD from the United States because they don't have it in Australia. Whoop-de-doo. So I was gonna send it to my friend and he would send it back to me. That didn't happen because I didn't want to pay like $50 on shipping. It would have been so dope because I know that he would have loved to see an unboxing video from him, but I guess not today. And yeah, the break was supposed to kind of transition my friend into the story because he does get introduced around this time as well. I don't know what else to really fill this in with. Wait. Okay, I got it. I think I recorded myself eating a Pop-Tart for the first time after I surprised my ex-coworker with the video that I did beforehand. So yeah, I could use that. Hey guys, guess who's back from surprising Sam? I am. I need to like stop doing that. It's become a habit. And they didn't have anything on hand to really give me, even though like I didn't want a gift, but you know, it's fine. They gave me a Pop-Tart, which I've never had, so yeah. He said 30 seconds in the microwave, don't toast it. So I'm just gonna like do that right now. All right, here it is, and it's kind of sweating profusely. Don't mind that. It kind of smells like oatmeal. It kind of looks like fairy bread. It's kind of still too hot to eat. Anyways, I'm gonna just text him quickly. I'm trying the Pop-Tart. Now, wish my bowels good luck. Hopefully this is in camera, right? No, it's not. Yeah, I thought this was like a sandwich, but never mind, they seem to be individuals. Oh, how strange, it has jam in it. It's not on the camera, stop it. Okay, here I go. Okay, that was a bit of a corner bit, so I'll try again. Oh, by the way, the flavor was strawberry cream, though I can't really taste. I can't like. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I'll still eat it anyways. Thanks, chef. Okay, so now we're in June, and this is where my friend from America, big shout out to Miami, Florida, gets introduced into the story. Finally, I'll call him RB for short because we did meet on Reddit. Don't question it. The thing is with RB and D is that they kind of remind me of each other since they have many resemblances, but of course they are two completely different people. One day RB calls me and told me like, hey, I think I finally met someone, and oh gosh, screaming and crying because it's about damn time. Please don't be an avoidant. And TLDR, with his situation and mine, they kind of parallel each other, but our roles are reversed. So with me, I wanted friends with benefits, casual. D prefers or even wants commitment. With RB, he wanted commitment, while the girl he was talking to wanted friends with benefits. Except this was little to his knowledge because someone wasn't transparent about her underlying intentions. And in saying that, we don't talk about her because we don't fuck with her. She is now enemy of the state. But within that journey, RB and I became crash out buddies, and we helped each other emotionally. And so with him and many others, I stopped making excuses for D. And again, it's not about initiating no contact, but it's just how we went about it, and we haven't had a proper conversation for something that I think was like mutual. Like, we did have mutual feelings towards each other, but like it was just handled so poorly. By now, you'd think my feelings for D would fade. It's weird because the memory of him has stayed longer than he has, and it's more so I'm now dealing with the imprint he left. With whatever the case that may be for specifically leaving things off the way that we did or he did, I can't be mad at him for leaving. Like, girl, whatever, I'm sure you're dealing with your image as much as I'm dealing with mine. And again, the purpose of a twin flame is to awaken each other, so rejoice. That's what we did, alright. Mission accomplished, achievement unlocked. That we're in no contact and in a chaser and runner dynamic. Yay.
That's gonna freak out of me. This guy's gonna get jump scared too.
Ini apa Aiden? Oh my god, he likes you.
I hate my fucking voice in that audio. I think he likes you. Shut up. Bro, I need to shut the fuck up. Like, it just kept on coming up to him. Oh god, and he just fucking stimmed again. I need a Callie? I need a tally counter. There we go, yeah. Anyways, I'm not gonna over-explain my journey and healing too much, but I basically threw myself into anything and everything just to numb the feeling. I was crashing out so hard that I genuinely felt insane, especially with the synchronicities, and that I ended up breaking no contact again by calling him 3 to 4 months later from June. So I think it's October or November. Yeah. And also, guess who got a tarot reading on him? I can't believe I got tarot readers to fucking cover for your ass. But before I get into it, let me just continue with where I was going. Again, no contact triggered the hell out of me because basically all the old structures and patterns that I had in place that kept me safe and comforted, they've essentially all exploded right in my face, right in front of my salad. And yeah, the thing is, it's already hard to face previous and past versions of yourself that you already don't like. So because of that, we tend to grow. However, when it comes to that specific version of yourself, the you that you're somewhat content with and have grown into, to only then get roped into the centrifuge of life, which we didn't ask for, by the way, it kind of hits different in an esoteric way. Now, I'm going to speed up the story a little bit so we can get into the tarot reading. We're now in July, and I'm feeling a bit on edge because I'm in this awkward cycle and fluctuation of crashing out, healing, crashing out, healing, etc. And then the work calendar worsened it, and also my dreams of him. There was this one instance where he does appear at my doorstep, and I open the door, I look at him, and it cuts. It could possibly be a deja vu moment, but I'm not entirely sure. Only time will tell. Though I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of waiting around for that to happen, but it just kept me ruminating on the situation more, which didn't actually help. And there was also this other dream that I had of him, of us, where we were hitting nangs at a restaurant. If you don't know what nangs are, they are the whipped cream charges that people kind of get high off, but you didn't hear that from me. Oh, and also there was this one girl who was also hitting the nangs with us. Anyways, sorry, I just had to mention that. I just found that so hilarious, and I need to kind of like balance that out with some humor. How else am I supposed to deal with this? And just to not take it as seriously. Given someone else was telling me the story, I'd be just as concerned. I'm not going to go after the people mentioned in the story with how they reacted because I'd feel as similar. It's just a matter of what I personally do with the reactions and information that they've given me and how I react to it myself. But yeah. I sometimes forget I'm funny. During July, I couldn't shake him off my mind for all the reasons. I'm not going to try and weasel myself out of this one. I just had to let it play out and experience it. And with how RB would explain it to me is that when you're sad, your body wants to feel sad. So I have to kind of let it move through me. And I would just have to hold that feeling the best I can without it controlling me, or I lose control of it. Also, I woke up with a song in my head a few days after my birthday. I think I might have heard it somewhere, but it was Dead to Me by Carly Uchis. And I'm like, wonderful, perhaps I am over this man. Then I impulse bought a TikTok tarot reading the following week. With this one, I could ask 2 questions. So first was about me, and then I followed the last question up with him. I'm not going to show all of it, but quote, okay, so he's definitely stressing out about you, crying, missing you a lot, wishing he said more to you when he had the chance. So yes, definitely wanting to come in and feeling very heartbroken over you, but feel like you're living your best life and don't care. XXX, hope this helps. Reading that, I was like, oh great, she's feeding my delusion. Again, with how he's feeling, at least in my knowledge, it's basically Schrodinger's cat. Is the cat actually missing me, or is he not missing me? And I was pretty much losing my mind over it because what do you mean? Living my best life? No! I have been... Oh god, this has been one of the worst years of my life. So far. I've been thinking that I've lost the plot. I've completely gone bazoinkazoinks. I've been living on the prayer, actually, Bon Jovi. Guys, I'm telling you, he's so funny. He's such a comedian. Even through a spiritual secondary source, the man still has jokes. I'll give him that.
You can't park there, sir. You ain't not a, whatever this guy is. It's like my dog trying to be like...
Oh, it is like...
You just booted up these things?
Next morning, I was lingering on the reading. Okay, fine. I'll swallow my ego. I'll give a little nudge. And so I go to his number, not knowing if I'm still blocked or not after months. And I send just a full stop, basically. There was no orange exclamation mark, meaning that he unblocked me. I did it again, like I sent another full stop sometime after, though there was still no avail from his end, but I shrugged it off and continued doing me. As with my trio at this time, things were meh, and I kind of withdrew myself away, which I'm very glad I did because I did need some space. And yeah, no one messaged the group chat after. There was no Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, and we still haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3. I'm actually so pissed about that. You could, please. Anyhow, we are now in September, and this is where shit starts to pick up again. One day, I come back from work, and I see this pamphlet near my doorstep, and I got triggered again, because pretty much this pamphlet was for some place near his area, which we have been to, and it's not a franchise or anything. Like how I would like to describe it is that this place is region locked to his area. So for this to appear over yonder to my doorstep 6 months later absolutely baffled me. And I'm not sure why my ex is still somewhat related to this, but this happened on his birthday. So yeah, my ex's birthday, and I come home from work to see that. I mean, can you blame me at this point? I start writing a crush out paragraph to D, and I send it to him, and still no orange exclamation mark. Also, I need to mention on the 21st of September around 1:55 p.m, my left ear suddenly rang. It was weird, so instead of him calling me and hearing my phone ring, there were also other instances of my left ear doing that, but with this one it felt, again, more weighted because I recently broke no contact again, and that I was getting my tattoo the day after. Hola, soy Dessa. Sorry, I just cringed. Can you say where was the tattoo parlor located in Spanish? Okay, so with this tattoo, I've been wanting it for ages now, alongside my septum. I thought to carpe diem because if not now, when? And I might have to go back there for a touch-up. She looks a little patchy, but moving on. The tattoo parlor was near his area, specifically around the place where him and I went to, and where that goddamn forsaken pamphlet came from. Mind you, I only got that tattoo then and there because of Lottie. Yay, he makes a reappearance. Lottie sends me a story from his tattoo artist because she had a sale and I was struggling to find an artist because, it's my first one. I don't really know what to do. And I wasn't in a rush or anything. It's not like my lifelong dream to have a tattoo. Just, again, her location happens to be there. Unbeknownst to me, of course. And by the way, never ever have I frequented his area around this much. I have no reason to go there anymore. Anyways, before I get to the call, I'm just gonna rapid fire some more coinkydinks that were too hard for me to ignore. I'm also gonna flash some images on screen too. So first, Lottie recently purchased a green shell and he already has the blue one and he's trying to collect them all. But for some odd reason, he can't find the red shell. Like, he can't find it anywhere in store. And that's how he bought the other 2 shells or something. I'm not sure why he doesn't buy it online, but I'm pretty sure he has like this whole little process thing. And you know what? Props to him. Yeah, I'm not even joking. He is a nerd. Do you know how dedicated they are? I'm pretty sure he got let into the back of a storeroom for one of the last Lego sets that he wanted. The website said it was in stock, but the employees couldn't find it, so they just let him loose in there and he found it within minutes. But yeah, the plushie that I specifically sprayed with my perfume was Dee's red shell. This next one seems a little sketchy. So next is this concert that someone I knew went to, and not that I'm 100% sure, but I have this rancid feeling that those could be his hands or that the person has similar mannerisms to him. And if that isn't him, then great, excellent. I think I may be overthinking things. Yeah, that'll just go into the more evidence pile of me being delusional about this. But say if it is him, I don't know what to say. Regardless, there's no way of me confirming that it is him. That is. Yeah, moving on. It's actually a video, but I think that's a bit, I think I'll be overdoing it. Last of all was me booking my surgery, and so I called reception. And they said that I had 3 locations I can go to for this. So the first one was February 9th, and it was 30 minutes away, and she mentioned the specific one was available because someone cancelled it. Okay, cool, but could I ask what were the other options? And I was waiting there with my pen and paper, and she said the next available date was February 23rd. Okay, and I write that down. That's a little too close for comfort because that's around Dee's birthday. But I just need to calm down. Not everything is a sign. And then she mentioned the location, and it was basically his general area. Far! February 9th it is. Haha, maybe next I should go to a witch doctor. Oh wait! You know what? We need a break. How would you like to watch some clips with me of Dee and I's final moments, at least at the aquarium? That was on Valentine's Day. I caught his stim on camera and it's just... It's so freaking bad without context, and I'm not gonna give you guys any context. If you guys could just listen to it, it's just... Oh god. If you know, you know.
Oh my god!
Why the fuck do I sound so flat? Oh my god.
He's like, whoa, that pretty girl.
I think this is the clip where he says it. There it is. Did I just hit him? Wait, where is it?
Oh, I see. Why do I feel like I'm moving? Holy shit. I just tripped the fuck out. Fortnite battle now. He doesn't know what Fortnite is. He heard Fortnite is people's dilators.
Yeah, he was just making fucking Fortnite jokes and... Oh god, that fucking sent me.
Dude, get a load of this guy. He's just said Fortnite. he told his friend. Man, look, they tried to escape. Maybe they like us.
I tell you, it's something of us.
He didn't even laugh at my joke. That's so stupid. Oh my god. Let's actually keep going. And he just fucking sung it at the end. Okie dokie, so we're now up to the call and we are in October. It's been a week or so since I sent that crash out message and it's still been crickets on his side. I read the message back and started to overthink and came back to like my senses and I was like, oh boy, time for me to write another apology. I didn't mean to disturb you like that. And I pressed send and still no orange exclamation mark. However, up to this point, I was getting so agitated and fidgety because I started to question if he was getting my messages or not. And one day I went up to my friend and I was like, hey, quick, por favor, can I block myself on your phone? He gave me his phone and that's what I did. I sent a message to his number and there was no orange exclamation mark. Oh my god. Have I just been venting to the void? I did give some lenience because Dee is an Apple user while me and my friend are both Samsung users. So yeah, I just took this L and tried not to crash out as hard as I can. After that, I assumed with Apple that the orange exclamation mark would only appear once as like a one-off thing. As a warning maybe, and then the following messages are a gamble. I don't know how these things exactly work, but apparently you gotta call just to make sure. By the way, around this time, I unadded D as a contact, and there have been many times where I did block his number and then unblock it. I was really trying to get this man out of my system. Now, a week or two goes by, and finally, someone messages me. And no, it's not him, but these people need context. Flashback to January of 2024, where D and I's connection was still fresh, and I was still in contact with my ex. And my ex, he sends me a link to a photography competition on behalf of someone. Whoever gets the most points wins, and when you vote, you're in a raffle for a free photo shoot. And so I send the link to my other friends as well. And with this friend in particular, he's kind of strangely involved in the story. But yeah, I'll call him Spot. Fuck, that's so stupid. So Spot mentions that he hopes he wins so he can give it to his then girlfriend. And lo and behold, D was the one who actually won it. And I was in the room with him when it happened. How does a bastard orphan son of a... Sorry, that was a Hamilton reference. Anyway, I was like, oh, that's so funny because my friend wanted this, and so D offered it to him. They both thank him and they get the photo shoot instead. Fast forward to the present. For some reason, I woke up in the wee hours of the morning, and at the same time, I was having dreams of D, and this was like the second night in a row. So I wake up, and that is when I got a message on IG, and it was from Spot's then girlfriend. Now, I've only met her in passing, and that's just it. Like, we weren't even following each other or anything, but she just asked a question, and though it doesn't involve D, that shit broke the camel's back. Just to note, this isn't anything against her, rather it's just the timing of it all. And so, ladies and gentlemen, gays and theys, I finally gave in and committed to actually calling D. Alex the Alex. Though I think after that message, I did try to sleep it off, but I wake a few hours later and it was still on my mind. And I was like, okay, let's just test, alright? Let's just see if I'm blocked again. So I find his number and I ring it. One ring goes by and it went straight to voicemail. But I keep calm because I know that he has his phone on Do Not Disturb sometimes. So I try again. And I think it actually rings this time, but only halfway. Because I think he declines it this time, though it didn't exactly register in my head that he did. So I was like, well, that's it, you guys. The show's over. I'm so cooked. And I remember laying on my side in the dark hours of the morning, just feeling so defeated. And I gave up, I turned my phone off, and I stared at it in complete darkness. Like that was the only thing that was lighting up my room. Only for a few seconds before my phone lights up with a number. I paused because the moment, the timing, it just felt too unreal for me. In fact, I didn't even believe it was him at first, and I thought, like, I really just took a gut punch, and now some freaking telemarketer is trying to contact me straight after. Whack. But then I quickly switched, and I was like, no, wait, actually. And I watched it ring out. I then checked the call history, and it's him. It's D. And below it were the calls that I just made to him. I tried to ring again, and it went straight to voicemail. And I text, no orange exclamation mark. And before I could finish a thought, he calls, and I answer. It was silent for what felt an eternity, and then he finally breaks. Hey, what's up? It's so bad. Oh my god, I apologize in advance. I'm joking. I was like, oh hey, and more silence. It was really weird as fuck. And he was like, did you need anything? And I was still slack-jawed because he just felt so casual and so nonchalant and so stoic. Like, I really did think that this was the fucking telemarketer, and I just read wrong. Forgot if I had him confirm, but he was like, it's D. And in my head, I was like, so it is you! And I also confirmed with him that it was me too. I was like, oh, it's me, it's Dessa. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And at that point, my brain has lost its signal. Like, it's almost been it's either 200, 300 days. And what do you mean? I can't recall what happened after, but he had to drive to work and we left it off at that. The call didn't even last a minute, but I closed my eyes, lay to rest, and suddenly I have my freaking tablet in front of me, in my hand, ready to go. I'm writing another paragraph. Woo! Let's go. A waiter, a lobotomy for one, please. My feelings just started to spill over, transforming the tension into a grand confession. Now I'm not exactly sure what the move was, but I figured that if I came clean and I opened up, he'd do the same. So around 5 or 6 p.m. the same day, I called. No answer and went straight to voicemail. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Oh, never mind, he's calling. Deep breath in, and I answer the call. He says hi, and his tone was perkier, which threw me off so hard coming from this morning. And I think he asked me how I've been, but I was like, whoa, hold up. I need to get something off my chest. And if you have the time, and if you want to, just say yes if you want to hear it. He goes silent for a few seconds, and his tone flattens. Sure. And I'm like, excellent! And then 5 minutes later, I'm a crying mess. This time, he's more vocal, which I did appreciate, but his response, just for my sake, I'm skipping to the part where he says, you're gonna find someone, and to keep focusing on my projects and my channel and my comic. And part of me short-circuited because, yeah, it's not the response I was hoping for, but what can you really expect? It's such short notice, I guess. For some reason, my body just froze to his response, and I just kept on repeating, okay, but how do you feel? And how do you feel about me? He did respond, but again, it just felt so empty. And then I think he tried to fill in the air with some conversation because I was dead silent. And that's when he mentioned he had a dream about me. And my mind was like, what? Like, the paragraph that I just read, it didn't have me dreaming about him. And I'm not sure what he was trying to get at because the only time I mentioned a dream to him was in my crash out paragraphs, which was on my ex's birthday. But of course, maybe he's not referring to that and, you know, just in general. But by the time I retuned into the conversation, he was like, yeah, dreams and waking up in sweat and hot. And then he switched up and he was like, oh, anyways, I gotta go. And we leave it off at that. Oh, and that also, during the middle of the call, after I read my paragraph, he slightly hesitates, but he casually drops that he now has a girlfriend. POV your ex-situationship gets into a serious relationship. Day ruined. If I wasn't at a loss for words, I should have rage baited him saying like, okay, and I have a boyfriend. Your point is, but divas, remember, I'm not trying to get into another relationship, even though I clearly like this. If anything, I hope that he still uses the water flosser that I got him for Valentine's Day because nothing says I like you more than dental hygiene. Death creeps into the gums. Also, he's been eyeing that water flosser for like the past month leading up to it. He wouldn't shut up about it. Anyways, I know that I didn't need to know if he was taken or not because I wasn't there for that. I was hoping it would lead into an honest conversation, but oh well. Again, I only got this far because I had a script and my soul was ripped out of me for the past 6 months? Like, didn't I just a few months ago would be just as silent and avoidant as he was? I mean, results may vary, but they are speaking for themselves, right? No response or a lack of one is a response. No closure is closure. I'm okay to walk away from this, not because he hurt me or I hurt him. In fact, he was absolutely amazing and I will stand by that. I can't hate him because there was nothing to hate. Like, during early no contact, I would just be hating on his flaws and his character, and it was just like this superficial hate, which deflected my responsibility to myself first and foremost, and also that he's too goofy to hate.
What? What's the Juniper device?
It is internet. It's a Juniper Switch.
Oh yeah, so this is one of the scenes where I got embarrassed. Again, what he was doing, it's honestly nothing embarrassing. I think it's really nice that he got curious and was like, oh wait, actually this is internet. Again, I think I got conscious because, again, it was dark, it was crowded, and we were kind of bringing attention to ourselves, and we were in the middle of an entrance, and I'm just like, bro, I just only get by and stuff like that. Even though there were really much people, I was just trying to be considerate. And yeah, in the moment I was like, dude, why am I getting embarrassed? Why am I getting embarrassed? I'm like, because this. I'm just like, bro, who cares? Literally, who cares? It's not embarrassing. Like, it's over the tiniest stuff. Albeit anyone else did that, I don't think I'll get embarrassed. It's, again, because I'm attracted to it. Ew.
It looks so like aesthetic.
I know.
It's
Like,
just smooth. They look like Sphinx.
oh my god. Oh, they kidnapped you.
As of now, I haven't contacted him this year, and I'm not planning to. I'm actually so done. I'm so over it. I think a part of me healing was with how I went with this whole experience, which sadly does include me crashing out in the way that I did, as much as I hate to admit it. But it was an indication for whatever I need to personally work through, an invitation of self-reflection. I do not doubt that I will still need to keep learning, holding, and connecting with myself, even after this has long passed. But I'm not a victim in this, and I will get the fuck back up again. While no contact is a canon event, a reunion isn't. Not always. But again, I'm sure we'll catch up in another lifetime. Funnily enough though, I believe the first song that he introduced me to was Girl on the Internet by Nox. Just had to point that out. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today. It's been around a year since I've last seen him in person. I was gonna read out the last tarot reading that I got of him, but honestly, I'm not bothered. But I will mention that she did get a little bit of a headache from his energy, and yeah, tell me about it, sister. Sounds exactly like him. Okay, now I'll shut up. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please do take care and stay safe.